Hey y'all, this is the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast with your host Madison
and Reed. We're here to highlight local and upcoming musicians in and around New Braunfels, Texas.
We believe the Texas and Americana music scene is what truly makes this town special, and we are so excited to provide a platform for y'all to hear straight from the artists themselves.
We hope y'all enjoy the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast and stay tuned for more interviews posted every other Friday.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
This next guest is making a significant impact across the hill country with a dynamic blend of traditional country, outlaw grit, and authentic storytelling. With roots in West Texas and a growing presence in New Braunfels, he has become a well-known name on stages throughout Central Texas. He delivers songs shaped by real-life experiences, and his sound reflects a deep respect for classic country while incorporating elements from his punk rock beginnings. He is joined by his incredible guitar player, and together their performances resonate with fans of genuine Texas music, characterized by intensity, sincerity, and a strong connection with audiences who appreciate country music played straight from the heart. Twin Rivers Music Scene is excited to welcome A.B. Hill and Gus Percy to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Very nice.
Welcome, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Doing really good. Just, it's early morning, so.
It's
It's not
Sunday.
even early morning. Sorry.
It is kind of early, though, because it's Sunday,
I'm just,
and it's 10:30.
just at, I don't know. It's one of those mornings for me.
What'd
I
y'all
get
do
it.
last night?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do a damn
I was
thing.
going to say.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was prepared. I was kind of nervous because I thought we were playing.
Oh, you thought we
So
were
I was
playing?
like, all right, I gotta remember. I gotta remember how to play tomorrow morning. So I stayed in practice a little bit.
Probably a breath of relief that
It
you're
was.
like, oh, we're not
Yeah.
playing.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, we can just talk.
Yeah, we're
cool.
talking.
Hell yeah.
For
I
once
didn't-
you don't have to
I
play.
didn't do a damn thing either. I just
Yeah.
actually took a long nap last night. I didn't get home from Houston till like 5 a.m., I think, the night before.
Oh yeah, how'd the gig go?
It was okay. Shady Acres Saloon is like really badass, like little spot. Like people are dancing their asses off, and I don't know. I've only been to Houston a couple different times now, but people seem like they're coming there for country music. You know what I mean? Some places you go, you don't know sometimes what you're walking into. You know what I mean? But yeah, this place is pretty cool. It stacks out. I don't know if y'all ever been there, but there's fire pits and it's a whole outdoor area, and yeah, it just really fills in. Everybody's dancing, so.
That's
Nice.
nice. Is it like as big as like the Rustic, like kind of like that vibe
I've
outside?
never been to the Rustic. I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious in Houston.
Yeah. I'm a
Really?
Houston girl, and I haven't been there. But people love to give Houston shit around
Are
here.
you from Houston?
Yeah.
Really?
Every time I tell people that, they're like, ew, sorry. And I'm
Why?
like, come on, Houston's not bad.
Yeah.
Because I think they think of like the inner city rougher parts of it. I'm like, but
Okay.
Houston is so cool. It's so diverse.
We played at the Big Top Lounge one night.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
really fun.
Yeah.
Next to the Continental Club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've
Oh
been there.
man, what a cool place that was.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great gig.
I want to go back there and, yeah, hopefully play Continental Club soon. Same guy books it, I think.
Yeah. The
That's
drive
cool.
home was like
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
telling
hairy, but
Yeah.
Not
we were on
ideal.
35 the
I was
whole
a
time.
little tired, like driving like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun night.
And when it's that straight road the whole way, it's so
Yes.
easy to just like let your mind wander. And I
Yeah.
look down at my speedometers at 95 and I'm like, shit, I'm
Yeah.
like cruising, coming
And
back. But
Smoke like a pack of cigarettes to stay awake.
yeah.
Just keep going. Just repetitive.
So
how
like, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. How did y'all like start playing together? Because you just said that you just moved to Austin not too long ago. So is this kind of new?
Yeah, pretty
Playing
new.
together?
It's kind of a funny story. AB was playing at the Sahara Lounge, which is in East Austin. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's a great little music bar.
It's like an old juke joint, like
yeah.
vibe, like kind of like this, maybe even smaller.
like lower
Yeah.
ceilings.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was playing there with his band one night, and I was in the crowd, and I just got here. What do you think that was, like August or September?
I don't know, sometime around there.
Yeah, sometime in the fall. I was there just hanging, like shooting pool, and then I was like, oh shit, I like this guy because he plays. I noticed he plays his guitar in different tuning, like open G. It's called like Keith Richards used it in the Rolling Stones a lot.
John Lee Hooker, all these the older musicians, like, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't want me to compare him to the Rolling Stones, but
no, but he's got it. He's got it. Out of all the people that I've played with, well, I don't want to say, I don't know if that's true, but he understands what I'm playing. I think like he hears it.
I heard
first and foremost.
I was like, shit. Like a lot of my favorite riffs sound like this motherfucker. So I was like, after the gig, I went up to him. I was like, hey, I'm new here. I'm a guitar player, and I think I'd be a good fit in your band. And he was probably like, who the fuck are you?
I had a really good guitar player that night.
Yeah,
like one of the best players in Austin. So I looked at him and I was like, well, who are you? He's like, I play guitar just like him. And I looked back at him like, just like him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was like, I don't know. I hadn't been in any bands yet, and I was like, I don't know. I came all this way. I might as well
shoot your shot.
Yeah, exactly.
It worked.
So I was like, if you ever need anybody, here's my number. I didn't expect to hear back from him, but then he texted me, and then we played in where did we play?
I think the first spot we played was just
Tacos y Tequila.
Yeah, Tacos and Tequila right here.
Yeah.
Just to like
Get your feet wet.
to the waiters and waitresses.
Yeah. It was a slow day that day for them. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. It was a good gig for me to learn your songs.
Yeah.
I guess.
Nice. So, AB, you're from Lubbock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How was like coming up in that music scene like, and how has that shaped your journey into the New Braunfels scene?
Lubbock just lives with me. I mean, well, anybody who's from that area is gonna say that no matter what.
I've heard that.
I was gonna say
you're
heard that
shaped by
people.
the desolate ass land and the wind blowing and the dirt blowing, and then you know, if you grew up poor like me and you're depressed, you know, and you're an artist, you know, there's a reason why in the past, like, artists all get out of there eventually. For me, it took longer because I created a barbecue business and had a family, and so, you know, I hung on to everything I had to make it work there. But then whenever it didn't, I was just like, or when that time period was done, I was like, it's time to go. Like, it's finally time to go. And thankfully, I was playing music already and kind of went down that rabbit hole, and so yeah, got out of there. But that influence, you know, music culture there is crazy because it's like all about songwriting, like more than even playing or anything else. Like, can you write a song? Can you make a song? Can you, like, are you authentic? Can you know, say what's on your mind? And I mean, in songwriters, you know, bands and stuff come out of there just left and right. I mean, you know, y'all know the names now, you know, Flyland Cavalry, Randall King, all these different acts. I mean, even further than that.
Amanda Shires.
Yeah, Amanda Shires is from there.
Love her.
One of my biggest influences growing up was, y'all might not know this name, but Thirster Cowboys. They were like a band that influenced a lot of Americana music, indie, underground, alternative country music. But it's just like, you know, people always say, what's in the water in Lubbock? And we're like, it's I don't know, it's because of
beer.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody it's hard work in Lubbock. You're either working your ass off or you're getting drunk because, or, you know, you're trying to take it easy. You're like, well, shit, you know, it doesn't work myself to the bone, you know. But it's that whole area, you know, including the oil field, and, you know, it's a crazy place to be, and but it does turn out some artists and some, you know, songwriters. But when I moved down here to the Hill Country, the first thing I noticed when I started gigging was like, holy shit, there's a lot of really good players.
Mm-hmm.
In, you know, the culture's different though. It's really weird. Like, Lubbock culture is, I would say, like I said, mainly songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you write a damn song? And everybody's going to the Blue Light Live on a Monday night, just trying, you know, the sword and the stone. Like who's gonna fucking like write the bomb ass song? You know, like, I don't know. That's Lubbock, man.
So when you compare like New Braunfels players to the songwriters in Lubbock, do you think there's more of like a band presence here rather than like the acoustic songwriter vibe up there?
I would say definitely, because in the sense that the area of the hill country and all these towns there's so much and there's so many people, and then also a melting pot of people who come. Like everybody's been moving here, so
Yeah.
so like, you know, whether it's like I said, San Antonio to Austin, and all up in the hills. I've already met so many different players and bands, you know. And then like if you're in Lubbock, that's the hub city for like that's what they used to call it because of farming cotton. But it's really still the case. Like all the small towns around it, like everybody just goes to Lubbock to like spend money, have a good time, whatever. But it's the same thing with music. Like all those small towns might have a musician, or they eventually end up in Lubbock. So it's like it's a smaller, like there's a handful of like badass players in Lubbock, you know, and you're lucky if like you get to play with them in your band or something, you know what I mean? Other than that, it's like people who go to Tech and they form like a little band of they're young guys. Like shout out to Walker and the White Lines. Y'all are the young guys right now. He just dropped an album, I think yesterday or something. Anyways, yeah, it's different. I don't know.
So you said before you moved here, you were already playing music. So were you playing in New Braunfels before you like actually moved here? Or how did you move to New Braunfels? Did you know it was also a music hub?
I would always just come down here. Me and my wife, we would just come down here throughout the years. I don't know. It became a thing. Like we're leaving Lubbock. Anytime you get a little extra money in Lubbock, you're like, I'm leaving. Like I gotta, yeah, dude. So you work yourself to the bone, and then you're like, well, I have money to go on vacation. Like, let's go. So this became the area. I don't know why, the rivers or something. Like, we would just come down here. We saw Max Stalling at Green Hall one time, and it's just that I don't know. Like, eventually we started saying, are we gonna move there one day? And then like whenever things went kind of crazy in Lubbock, we were like, we didn't even talk about it. We were like, we're moving, and we were like telepathy, like, yeah, we know where we're going. And I had already visited like places like Green Hall and this place like before we moved and stuff. You know, I did the Picker Circle, you know, on a Sunday, and you know, I don't know. Yeah.
So Gus, you're from Massachusetts. Obviously, Austin is like a huge music city, and you said you've played in New Braunfels a good amount with AB. What do you think is special about New Braunfels since you've been here with the music scene?
I like the small town feel of it because that's sort of where I'm coming from, you know. I tell people I'm from Boston just so they understand the region, but I'm not really from the city. I'm from a town north called Marblehead, and I grew up there and I lived there my whole life. And like I was telling you earlier, like I have like strong family connections there. We own a business together, and so when I moved to Austin, it was it felt a lot bigger to me, you know, because I'm from a small town. But then, so when I'm playing up there, it feels a little less intimate when you're playing, you know. But when I played here, it felt like people were listening to the lyrics and actually there for the music, you know, which I thought was really cool. And it kind of, as someone who's trying to support an artist, you know, it felt more like, oh, okay, this is where we're supposed to be playing. You know what I mean? Because AB and I have played in Austin a few times as well. And,
Sorry about these flies.
Yeah,
they will
these
hus
flies,
the whole
they
time.
harass
And it's like
everybody.
one
I'm used
every
to 'em.
time. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll just be swatting.
Yeah, it's okay. We played in Austin, right? And I just felt like the crowd was more like, I don't know, we were background noise, which is fine, you know. Some gigs are going to be like that. So, yeah, those are kind of the differences in feel that I felt between Austin and New Braunfels.
Yeah.
Was there a music scene from your town that you're originally from?
Yes and no. I think myself and my bandmates did a good job of kind of creating a music scene there. Because it's very much a sports region, you know. I know football is huge here. I'm a big football fan myself. Grew up playing football. But then as I got older and got more into music, I felt like, you know, people were still talking about high school football. And I'm like, I just felt a little disconnected from that, you know, because I'm like talking about Eric Clapton's guitar solo on Cream Volume 2.
Yeah, you're like, we
Cream
can't
Live
relate.
Volume 2. I'm like,
This
and they're
dude
like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Man? I'm like, shut up.
Talk about the things that matter.
Yeah, right.
This dude was meant to move down here to play music. Like whenever he first told me, like, I just moved, from way up there to come down here and play Texas music. And, like, I don't know if that's how you say it, Texas music, but that's how I view music. It's like, this is a Texas thing, I'm like, what? And like, I don't understand. But then the more I get to know him, well, one time at the Houston gig, I was like, you're just a country bumpkin that lives up there.
Yeah, we did. We started talking about Lubbock and Marblehead, and
it's very similar.
And all of a sudden, we're like, oh shit! Like, is this like every small town shares a lot of the same things that drive you maybe to resent it in certain ways?
It shapes you, but it builds you.
Not to say I resent it.
Yeah, I got what you meant.
I don't mean to say I resent it, but you know what I mean. Like the things that like you aspire to do things differently, maybe because of the way things are going there.
Yeah, you can
Right.
just
Like you're
outgrow a
wanting to get
space
out.
and be ready to try something new.
Right.
For
And
sure.
I have so many people back home who are so supportive of me and everything, and I love all of them, and especially my mom. Shout out to you, Mom. But I just felt like it was time. If I wanted to be the best musician I could possibly be, I felt like it was time to like challenge myself to do that and prove that I could play in Texas.
For sure. Kind of to pivot a little bit, because you mentioned this, AB, about your barbecue business you had in Lubbock. I've tried you and your wife's truck at the Villa when y'all had it there, and it was so good. Can you tell us more about your barbecue journey and like your whole lifestyle behind that too? Because I know that's a big part of you.
That's a giant part of like who I am, I guess. And what's funny is like, well, here lately, especially like, I told my wife the other day, I'm like, dude, no matter how far I go in life or any direction, somebody's always like, you're the barbecue man. And I'm like, well, fuck me, sorry, I don't know if you can cuss on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, but I'm like, son of a bitch, because that's true. And well, actually, it used to be harder for me, like when I first started really trying to lay into the songs at Blue Light, and somebody bring up barbecue, because I was the barbecue man in that town, one of them, and so I would kind of shut it down. Like, I'm not here to talk about barbecue. I'm here to write, play these songs. Like, I have more about me, and I've always felt that way, because I grew up being a painter and stuff. I have a fine art degree. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got different facets of themselves. You know what I mean? Barbecue is just one of them, but people are very interested in barbecue. But yeah, I just grew up around a family that cooked every single weekend, because that's what they get their paychecks. If they had a little extra money, that's what we were doing. And so every weekend it was, that was probably the best years of my life. Like the kids we were all doing whatever, and the adults were drinking beer and cooking on the pit, and the classic country songs were rolling on the radio. Like, that was the best, man. And I literally just hang on to that. Like, it was all my family, my grandparents, uncle, my mom and dad, and then whoever they would invite, their friends and stuff. Just bunch of country people out there in the country, in the cotton fields back when it was still the country. Lubbock's kind of blowing up just like New Braunfels. But yeah, eventually that ended up me working at a barbecue joint. Somebody got me a job at a barbecue joint, and because I was in high school, so I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't think of it like that. But then when people were buying barbecue, I had a moment where I was like, this is a thing? Like, people are like buying this shit? Like, really? Like,
yes.
And this is like an experience for them, I'm like, this is weird. So then at my young age of 16, I was like, I'm going to open a barbecue restaurant one day. And this is back whenever everything was way cheaper in the barbecue game. And anyways, I accomplished my goal eventually. We had our first daughter 2015, and I got my associates, and I stopped going to school because I said, I got to provide for my daughter. So I told my wife, we're opening a barbecue restaurant. So we did. But man, that was such a long journey, 2015 all the way to 2024. And we moved from spot to spot to spot. Had my original little location in Levelland, Texas, which is just west of Lubbock. And we just kept moving it because we were like, barbecue's, it's a tough, like, you got to make some money. You got to have enough people coming through, because each brisket's now like $100 each.
Damn. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're $75 to $100, and so like think about, you're gonna try to sell 3 of those. That's already 300. You got to buy the wood. That's 400.
It's more than clam chowder.
That's what I'm saying. It's a hell of a business. And if you're not doing good in that business and you're tied into it, like when I say it's a hell of a business, only barbecue families know this around the state of Texas, and we all know each other because we all keep up. But man, it sucks. It can suck. It's like it's a prestigious Texas thing, you know. But really, behind closed doors, like fucking Texas barbecue families do, they're working their asses off, and they're sometimes not making it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we always did good enough. Like we were in downtown Lubbock, and had lines. They were just like Franklin barbecue, man. Like just for 2 years straight, and then that was under a tent because I sold my original building in Levelland and moved on down the road. Went back to Lubbock. Then I got my little vintage trailer, which now is painted pink, but it was we spray painted it it was like copper.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. Anyways, that was for those lines in downtown, and then we eventually moved our way up into the brick and mortar that we have for 3 years there on the historical 34th Street in Lubbock, and that's what I'm known for in that town. But
It's cool.
Transition, okay, sorry this is long, but transition. I started writing songs that I really liked. I was going to Blue Light. I was like, okay, this is what I've been trying to say this whole time. That's what the Blue Light made me find myself. You know, everybody's like blue Light's got magic. That's what everybody says, and I think it's true too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I started really pumping out what I was trying to say. You know, and then I think I had like 4 songs, and then June of 2023, we were having the worst fucking month for barbecue. Pit fire, shit stolen from like a crackhead guy that was like hanging around. No shit, seriously, like it was bad. And
Cocktail.
Yeah.
it was bad, man. And then lo and behold, that pit door came down on my head one day because I was just working really fast. I always worked really fast on the barbecue pit because we were always short-handed. So I'm doing everything right, and yeah, dude, I threw that pit door up and it bounced off that horseshoe and it came back down, and I didn't fall, but next thing you know, I was just like, I guess somehow I got my hands up, but I was just holding it, and my head, the pit door was resting on my head and my neck was like that.
Dang.
And I was immediately like, what the fuck did you just do? And I just kept repeating that to myself because I knew I've had many concussions in my life, but this one was like
Different.
Different.
Like you knew.
I knew right away. I was like, dude, you fucked up. And so I raised the pit door. And I was there to do my ribs. So I just flipped all my ribs. And then I just knelt down on the ground because I was spinning so fucking hard. And I was just I kept repeating, what the fuck did you just do? And then I was like, keep your shit together. I was literally holding myself together, trying not to pass out.
Wow.
And then my wife happened to show up right before that happened. She was inside with the kids. So I went in there, and I told my employee at the time, I said, dude, do I look fucked up right now? And I didn't know it, but I had just this giant fucking knot on my head. They also had a indention.
Dang.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, what the fuck did you do? And I was like, I messed up, dude. And then, I didn't want to tell this to my wife because we were always struggling. At different times, we do good, we struggle, whatever. So I had to, though. I'm looking at her. I'm like, dude, I messed up. And she's like, what? I'm like, it'll be fine. So I worked the rest of that day serving.
Oh my God.
Because I always work through concussion. If I had I've always done hard jobs and stuff. So if I ever had a concussion, I just, I just carry on, work through it, whatever. You eventually get over them. But and I did so for a whole week. We had caterings and everything. This was around the time it was 106 outside out there and really fucking hot. So a whole week went by.
You didn't go to the doctor?
No, I didn't because I was trying to just work through
You're
it
just trying to work.
and
You're a hard worker.
maintain the restaurant. Because if I wasn't doing it, our finances were fucked.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about rolling the dice every week of me buying $2,000, $3,000 worth of goods and trying to flip it.
Yeah.
And that was in my hands. That's only in my hands at the time. Yeah, and then that Friday rolled around, and it was 10:30 in the morning. I was going, drinking my I was still drinking my espresso and everything, man, just rolling. and cooking on that front door of that pit, which is probably about like 500 fucking degrees, but and my dumb ass always sticks my head up in there, and yeah, I went to Dollar General to get some napkins or something, and as soon as I got out of the car, it was just like this feeling, like I was already feeling still weird, like I was still like really weird, but I was thinking it's gonna go away. And then I got out of the car, and it was just like this strain or like something, like it just felt like, I don't know how to explain it to you. If you ever seen yeast in a beer,
yeah,
like a homemade beer or something, like that's what I felt like. I imagine inside my head.
Your brain
happened.
Like expanded.
That's scary.
And it happened. I got out of the car and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I am freaking out right now. Like, what's going on? And it was 106 outside, so I was just like very like, so then I was like, no, fuck that, because I don't go down like that. This is my barbecue mentality. This is just my mentality as a person. And so I went in, I got me an energy drink. I was like, we're going to power through this bitch and we're going to keep going. And then I fucking started taking a couple of drinks, checked out. By the time I got back the block down the street to the restaurant, my dude that worked with me was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, he could tell. And I was standing for the AC.
Did you forget the napkins?
Dude, I got the napkins.
All right.
But then, like, I was standing in front of the
drinks.
AC. The AC's blowing in my face, and I was just like, dude. And I was like, I couldn't, like, chill out. And I told him, I was like, dude, I don't think I can open today. And he's like, what? Because he knows that's not me. And, yeah, it was getting closer and closer. I was trying to get myself together before 11 o'clock because people started lining up at the door. Eventually, I said, lock that fucking door. I put a note on the door. I couldn't even write the note. I was like, put a note on the door that we're not doing this. Like, we can't do this. So then I called my wife. I said, Jewel, I can't open today. Like, and she's like, what? But I was a barbecue man way before I met her. And she knows that shit don't fly with me. So she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, it's just not happening. And I was like, I can't cut nobody's order today. And I can't talk with nobody. I can't bullshit with nobody. That was me as a barbecue man. I was I'd sit there and talk shit and, how's your day going? Or whether, it's a very, up there in West Texas, we'll talk some shit and like, But that day, hell no, it was not happening. And it was like, so man, y'all are getting me in my... Anyways, it was just like every bad thing that had happened up to that point was just coming down on me. Like my mom died 3 years prior, and I was still hanging on to that. And then like every like bad thing with like the restaurant, my family not being around, and like just everything. And it was like a fucking meltdown, dude. Yeah. So basically, no, this is all to preface or whatever. I was already playing music. So I went home, and I just ditched the guy at the restaurant. I didn't even tell him I was leaving. And I told Joel, go and sell the meat, because we're screwed if we don't sell. We're broke if we don't sell that meat. She knows. So she's like trying to take care of me. And I told her, leave me alone. Don't touch me. Go. I got myself. So I sat there, and we had a dog, and I was literally just like petting that dog and like trying to keep my shit together. And she told the girls at the house, like, hey, Dad's not feeling all right. But dude, in that moment, I thought I was going to die. Like, oh my gosh. And I like literally was like, again, holding it together. But so then I like was trying not to go to sleep because the girls are in the house. But I think I was apparently Jill told me I was asleep for 3 days at that point. So then, but I would wake up and I was so drained. And I didn't know at that time. I've had all this understanding after this. Like, I've learned a lot about all what happened to me. But I met a lot of people. Like, the world is very mysterious. Through music, I met people. But how I kept myself grounded at that time, because I was like so screwed up, was those like 4 songs that I wrote originally. Because that's like what I could remember that. But then like I was like, so that's when I guess my concussion was the worst, I guess, or whatever. Or maybe I had stroke. I don't know. I still haven't been to the doctor. That sounds crazy. But like the reason I didn't at the time was because I was so hell-bent on like, no, this is not permanent. And well, I was like scared, actually. I was like very scared.
Like, don't want to know.
That I felt like I screwed over my family at that point, that I left them like high and dry. Yeah. Because all of our eggs were in one basket, and they all rested in my basket that I like held. You know what I mean? And but 3 months went by of me feeling like one day a little better. So those were the glimpses of light where I was like, I'm going to get through this. I can get through this. I feel more normal today, like a little more normal.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next day, and I'd be all ecstatic, like, or kind of cocky, actually. I'd be like, yeah, fuck this shit. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the next, I'd tell Jewel, I'm good. And then the next day, I'd just be down again. And it was like that, just like constantly. And 3 months of that until, I was dwindling in bed, like muscles. You know what I mean? I went from hardworking man to nothing. And I had a moment. I looked in the mirror and I was like, "You're not gonna get better." And I looked so fucking bad, and I couldn't see myself really. Like it's like almost like I couldn't see, and I was just like hoping and like what the fuck, dude? Like, so I had a Colorado joint, in the garage, and I really wasn't a heavy smoker or nothing. I never have been really, but. I was like, I gotta fucking get my shit together. I looked up on Google, like, because I was scared to even try to take a puff of weed, like, or something. So I was like, because I didn't want to get screwed up more, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I looked up and it was like dementia patients create neural pathways, and so when I read that or whatever, I was like, dude, try it. Mm-hmm. So I went to the garage and I took one puff. And as soon as I took that one puff, I was like, boom. I was like, I can fucking see. I'm still. And I went back to the mirror and I looked at myself and I was like, you're still fucking alive, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
And then I had weights on my floor, which I never lifted weights in my life, so I don't even know why I fucking had them. For real. Like, I just worked my ass off all the time. But I had these weights on the floor. I had these weights on the floor, so I saw the weights, and I was like, you got to start doing more, like, or you're going to just dwindle.
Dude, you should start smoking more weed, man. You're having all these positive revelations.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to get jacked. I'm alive.
What I'm saying is that shit got me through at that time.
No, I just fussed you.
Until basically right before I met you, or right, I don't even know. When
did the injury happen?
In June of 2023.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
and I still feel it. I have, I don't know if it's still there, but, I have massive inflammation in my eye, the last 2 mornings. And it just comes on out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It still tries to take me down, how it used to when I was real bad and it was every other day. Mm-hmm. Now I can, keep it at bay. I literally feel like death is chasing me. But it's I keep it at bay, but it'll creep up on me.
You look good to me.
Well, thank you. But it's it was a weird thing too, because I was so screwed up, and even people that I knew that couldn't, on the outside, that couldn't tell, my family, my mother-in-law and everybody else, they were like, he looks fine to me. But Jewel, who knew me and lived with me, she was telling everybody, no, he's fucking gone. He's not there.
Wow.
And she would tell me I know you're not there because your eyes look hollow. Mm-hmm. And I was like, thank you. Jewel, my wife, saved my life. Different things saved my life. Jewel saved my life. I always say that if it wasn't for Jewel, I would definitely be that guy that's walking on the street. Wow. And then when I see people walking on the street, I sometimes I feel like you don't know what happened to them. I used to be oh, they were just drug addicts. Mm-hmm. But no, they might have got smacked in the head and just lost themselves and not been able to climb out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more compassion. You really don't know what people have gone through.
It's crazy. But anyways, so all that happened, 3 months. Anyways, I started lifting weights 3 times a day, and that's when my recovery started. I had a moment with God too. I've always been very spiritual, I think. Mm-hmm. But I purposely didn't talk to God whenever I went home that day and I was screwed up, because I thought about it and then I didn't, because I really believed in that moment that he would just take me if I prayed to him.
Wow.
That's how I felt.
That's so heavy.
It's powerful.
And then so I didn't for the longest time. I was just trying to get better on my own, basically. And then so it came to a point where my mom, I miss her a lot, so I was talking to my mom instead. I'm like, Mom, what do I do? What help me? I got to figure something out, So then I think that reconnected me with God around the same time that I took the puff of weed, and then I started lifting weights. Mm-hmm. So I started regenerating myself. As soon as I'd wake up in the morning, I'd lift weights. Middle of the day, I'd lift weights. End of the day, right before bed, I'd lift weights. Full body presses, everything. And dude, when I first started lifting weights,
It's
like
quite a workout
I
split.
I couldn't,
for a concussed man.
dude.
Yeah,
but
that's
I was
insane.
pushing,
Yeah.
dude.
Intense.
I was pushing. But at first, I was so weak that I couldn't even lift 10-pound weights. Like I was like with the 10-pound weights, and that's when I was like, dude, you're fucked up. Like what is
Yeah.
going on? And then, anyways,
What are you up to now? Like 12 and a half?
yeah. Actually, I'm a sorry piece of shit because I stopped
Progress
working
is all
out.
that
I
matters.
stopped working out. I got better enough, and then I
kidding.
just like stopped.
But it sounds like a good trifecta of things to feel better. Weed, you're like praying to your mom and praying to God, and then working
What's
out.
crazy
so you found a
is
good trifecta.
I was
Mind,
at a
body,
gig one
spirit.
time, and I
Yes.
told all of this stuff's in my songs, man. And so like if people are really listening, they're like, well, it's like kind of crazy because I'll talk between my songs and I'll like let people know, hey man, this song's like, because this song's relatable to this person and that person. And so people sometimes will get really sucked in, and so after the show they'll tell me things about their life. And like somebody one time told me though, like you know your mom is your angel.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, I have my mom tattooed on my arm with an angel.
Yeah.
And when they told me that, I never thought of it like that. But I was like, holy smokes. Like, my mom was literally like an angel with me while I was, like, praying. And she connected me back to God. Like, you know, because I felt like I could talk to my mom. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a long story. But it all plays into the music because I had 4 songs, like I said. And I would play those same 4 songs. And then Jewel was like, dude, you can't just like sit around here at the house all the time like dying. And she knows who I am to my core. I'm a crazy guy, like I always have been. So she's like
Crazy
not as crazy as I used to be, but I'm damn, like it's in there, you know what I mean? So she's like, you need to go to Blue Light and sing your songs. And I'm like, all right. So she would basically kick me out of the house every Monday night, and I'd go have a time at Blue Light. I felt like I was just like expelling this badness, you know what I mean? Basically, letting it rip. But I played for those months. I just had the same 4 fucking songs, and then that's when I was trying to write, and I was like, dude, I can't even write songs. I was like, because I can't remember. That's when I really realized that like I was disconnected. I was like, I can't even remember my life. And as a country guy, you know where you stand, and you know how you feel, and you're very like. You know,
tune.
you're honoring your past. You're very, you know what I mean? That's what country music is, you know? And but that bothered me. I was like, dude, I've always known who I was, and like I don't even know. And then so I just was like trying. So my wife asked me one night, do you remember what your grandparents' house smelled like? And when she said that, it was like a light bulb, like, because I did remember exactly vividly, and I was like, write that shit down. So I started to write. Every time I'd have one memory, I couldn't retain it, but I'd write down that memory in my phone, and then eventually my phone, all of these memories started, like these like things, detailed things I would write down, started to come together, and I'm like, well, that's like, so I started making songs out of those things, you know what I mean? And that's how my new songs started to be born. And I always say, like, a lot of my songs are just healing songs. Like, they're literally, and they were for me, but now when I play them, like, a lot, like, when people hear them, they're for other people, dude. Like, because that's what music is, I think.
Yeah.
I've had, like, people literally bawling. Like, a mom one night at Iron Horse, I was just playing some songs over there, and a mom holding a baby was just bawling. And she came up to me afterwards and told me, like, that she heard me singing about, you know, my mom and her parents just died and all this, you know. I'm like, wow, dude, you know, like, it's super crazy.
That's such a powerful thing about music, is it
Yeah.
can get you through such a hard time, and then after you're able to connect with people that didn't have the exact same experience but similar, in where it brings out that emotion. I think that's so special that it was healing for you, and now you can carry that on to like help heal other people as well.
What's crazy to me about it though is like that I play a very aggressive honky tonk style like song a lot of the time, you know. And I always say,
You got a couple ballads.
Yeah.
You got a couple.
I always
couple
say,
minor chords.
I always say though that like the blues is not sad. The blues is mad.
It's uplifting.
It's
too.
mad, and it's
That's
resurrecting
It's uplifting.
like the
Yeah.
God, you know, the goodness in life. Because what
Yeah.
the blues is fighting against the blues actually.
Yes.
And it's so that's what I was exactly doing. I was just
That's
writing
like
down my
gospel
blues.
too. Like blues and gospel.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's
intertwined,
gospel
you know.
music is all it is, really.
Yeah.
And you know, people get that confused a lot. Like, oh, it's sad music. No, it's not. It's I was fighting for my life, so my songs are very aggressive, like about like this is who I am and this is where I'm from and this is, you know, and you know, if you listen to my lyrics, there's a lot of God in my songs actually. Well, because in that moment when I was really down and out, I had that moment with God, and I said, God, if you'll let me stay here with my girls, I was like, I'll tell everybody about you. So here you are, everybody.
Yes.
This is the moment. I might be a you know, old school
Preach.
kind of hellraiser kind of guy, but this is my story. And you know, like at my shows, every time almost I try at one part I try to say, listen, like I have one song called Never Ask God Why, and it was literally, you know, it's I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God, like me just having that faith that okay, like just lift the weight for today, for this morning, and for this, you know, lift the weight and keep going, you know. And then like from that point forward, and then songs started to be born, you know. Like I think the first one I wrote after that was Mojo Hand, where it's just like a song like I lost my mojo hands. It keeps repeating. It's a blues song.
Zach showed me like y'all's workup of it, and that one's so good. I'm excited for it to come out. Yeah.
That was my favorite one to work on.
Everybody loves that one, you know, which is, I laugh about that one, like, because everybody, no matter where we go or whatever, like, people really get into that one. But
Because you're,
it's not
you're up there
boring.
yelling.
But the origin, the origin of that song is literally me sitting on my bed feeling so fucking depressed and like sad and lost, and I literally like had my, you know, my face in my hands, and I'm literally like, oh, damn it, I lost my mojo hand. Like I can't even write a song. And then like a guitar was right there, and I was just like, that riff, like
I like that riff.
literally was born right there. I don't
riffs
even
like
know
that.
how. I just like picked it up and started playing that riff, and then like the song flowed out. That was the first song that I wrote that was like after my spell of not knowing who I was and not being able to write songs, and like it was just me, you know. The verses are just saying who I used to be, or like I always tell everybody has this vision of who they are. Like you're a little cocky. Everybody is a little bit, you know, even if you feel like you're a humble person, everybody's like, well, I'm this person.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, the verses are like, this is who I am, but I lost my mojo hand. You know what I mean? Like, but, yeah, it's a trip. Cause like you said, like the songs are for other people now. You know what I mean?
Those are the best songs when you're listening to it and you're like, oh shit, like this sounds like it was written for me.
You're right.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite songwriters are able to do that.
James Calloway, I do that one song.
Jason Isbell.
Oh, yeah.
does that a lot for me.
Yeah. You're like, how do you know what I'm going through in my life?
Yeah, like you literally wrote a
spy
song.
or
Yeah,
what?
exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
Yes,
you should have
yes, yes.
dedicated it to me
It
at
gives
this
you
point.
the goosebumps. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's cool is people resonate with those personal experience and authentic songs, because I mean, we're all human. We all make not the same mistakes, but you can always pull something like from a song
Everybody's
like to
got
relate to.
some sort of tragedy
Yeah.
that's happened, or maybe multiple. You know, but like, yeah, write about that tragedy, and then, but yeah, put the light back into it, because life comes in waves of good and bad, and it all comes back around full circle. But
For sure.
ever since I went down though, and like through my music journey, because like it's like crazy, we decided to shut down the restaurant. Like my wife was holding down a restaurant after that, and she come up at night and she's like, I can't believe you were doing all of this work, like you've had so much on your back all these years. And I'm like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you, man. Like I'm like put out. And then we had a discussion. We were like, should we shut down our restaurant, which was a huge deal for us, because we've been doing that. We've been working on that sucker for 10 years. That's who we were. That's what fed our babies. That's what paid our rent. And but we were still, it was so bad. We were like, yeah, let's shut it down. And we planned for it a year ahead of time, and we didn't tell anybody because we didn't want people, we didn't want it to be a weird thing. Well, they're shutting down, we're not going to go eat with them. Something like that. So a year later we shut down. We already knew we were moving down here, and Jewel was like, you're going to play music and live your life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, thank you. Like, thank God for Jewel.
Yeah.
You know? And And Jill never gets to come out because she's always at home with the babies. But I talk about my wife all the time because she's literally.
She's a hell of a photographer.
Yeah, when she does get to come out, she
takes pictures.
She does good stuff
yeah,
like
your
that.
photos are really good on
Yeah.
Instagram. I was noticing that.
That's her, right?
Shout out to Jewel Hill Photo.
Yeah, they're really good. I was going to mention
you
that.
Even make me look decent.
But you took a lot of those songs that you were talking about to Yellow Dog Studios recently, and y'all recorded. Did you say 6 songs or so?
7. I think 7.
7.
Yeah. Sorry.
How was it working together in the studio? Because I know y'all are like somewhat new playing together. And what is that recording process like for y'all?
It was tough. It was tough for me because I've been in studios before, but I kind of think I thrive live.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you kind of feed off the crowd and you're up there in the moment and you're feeding off your bandmates and there's a lot of energy. But when you're in the studio and you're not recording live, you're recording to a track. So you got these headphones on and then they're like, okay, man, time to play a guitar solo. And I'm like, all right. And then so you're just in the studio alone with everyone watching you through the little window there. And it's just you. I'm like,
You're the front man.
Yeah, well, he's the front man.
Well, in that moment,
in that moment, it's like I feel so much more pressure in that moment when there's no crowd and you know what I mean. Where you're like, okay, I gotta play something good because this is what everyone's gonna hear on the track. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was difficult in a way to just get used to that. But I think by the end of the day, I felt pretty good about it. And then AB would come out of the studio. And he'd be like trying to explain to us what he wanted. Like
that was on the one track. We did one track that was way different.
I'm not about to talk shit. But his vernacular about what he wanted was like, all right, like I don't even know.
All I got sometimes is, dude, you know, I'm like a gorilla sometimes with music. I'm like, boom, 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 make it like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, got it.
And I was like, all right, noted. I think I know what you want, but I don't really know, so I'm just going to go ahead and try my best. Mm-hmm. So, but, yeah, I mean, Yellow Dog Studios, what a great place.
It's crazy. Yeah, Yellow Dog's badass. Casey Johns is who produced that one, and he's a West Texas guy, too. And what's funny about that whole thing, too, it all makes sense. Like, so all my healing, it all makes sense. Like, more and more as time goes, like, you know, spiritually, or, you know, like supernatural. Like, that's how I, like, kind of look at life. I don't know. One thing comes up and I'm like, well, that's why, you know, that's why I took a hit on the noggin. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's that's kind of weird to say, but
you got to make sense.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You're kind of forced to. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
Anyways, but Casey Johns, there's a buddy, Jim Clack. He's a songwriter up there in Lubbock. I think he was the first one on Blue Light Porch. Man, he knew I was moving. He's like, man, you got to meet Casey Johns. He's at Yellow Dog Studios. You know, so that was long before I met Casey Johns. Then I moved down here, and I lived my life, played with different players, did all these shows. And then another guy that works at a brewery, he's a drummer for a band. He's like, you need to meet my buddy Casey Johns, you know. And it just kept going, like, where different people would be like, you need to meet Casey Johns. And then, sure enough, man, I went to meet Casey Johns, like, eventually. And then he started talking to him, and I'm like, well, no goddamn wonder everybody's telling me to meet Casey Johns, because, like, me and him connect in a way, because he's from West Texas. He also, you know, told me I went through some shit up there, too, and, like, landed me down here. And now, you know, and he was in bands and stuff up there. So he was in the culture of what I knew, you know, musically and, like, you know, culturally. And then he came down and became a producer, you know. And then, so as soon as he was telling me all this, and, like, I was just like, yeah, this is my guy, because you want to have some sort of connection.
He knew, like, the sound you were going for without
it's
even.
important.
And it brought that West Texas piece of it back down here with you.
It's important for me, because you want to have that, like, and he's not from West Texas, but for whatever reason, I think he's got a little West Texas in him. You know, like,
he's not, but he is.
That is such a compliment.
Honorary.
Thank you. Yes. I honestly just started listening. I've listened to country music my whole life, I guess, but I really got into country music when I came here, and I really didn't play a lot of it back home. It was mostly blues and rock and R&B and soul and folk, and then I'm like, okay, now that I'm in Texas, I need to play a Telecaster, and I need to learn how to chicken pick, you know, that, like, percussive kind of sound, like, And then so yeah, I kind of try to incorporate that into my playing with AB, so it sounds authentic, you know. But then bring in like a little bit of the blues and rock when it calls for it, I guess. Yeah.
So how do y'all get ready for like a studio day? How do you get mentally prepared? Or do you just kind of like go in there and you're like,
we were drinking
this?
lots of Lone Star beer that we went through like cases and cases.
Yeah. Lone Star sponsor them.
Yeah.
This music is, well, because different bands are different and different songwriters are different. And I'll just say, I'm not going to speak on anybody else's stuff, but I'll say my experience with my music has literally been like, I went through a bunch of crazy tragedy and horrific shit, but I flipped on its head and made the best of it. And you know, like I said, those are my songs. Those are my storyteller songs. Well, came down here to the hill country, started playing with different players, learned that like, okay, well, just find your fucking fit of your players that hear what you're trying to put off, you know. And then lo and behold, like find people like Gus, like and Doug. Shout out to Doug on bass, man. Like,
yeah, Doug's the best.
Doug and Gus are my guys right now, dude.
Yes.
Like,
Is it Doug? What's his last name?
Garrett.
Oh my gosh, we love Doug Garrett.
Yeah.
We talk about him all the time
he's
on
amazing.
here.
Amazing.
Yes, he's so
He's a
funny.
hoot.
I always say he's like one of the funniest musicians in
Yes.
town,
Yeah,
I think.
100%.
I always tell him, you're like a friend that I grew up with or something. Like he keeps me like feeling, you know, just like, okay, like, you know, fuck it, nothing matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Keeps it loose.
Yeah.
One time, I've told this story on here before, but
It's
I haven't
our
told
favorite
y'all.
story.
Is Madison will come or get on stage with some of our friends and play tambourine every now and then.
Oh, sick.
And she posted a photo of it, and Doug commented on it and was like, "This is so nice of them to like let you do #Make-A-Wish." Doug, what the hell?
And then every time I post about it now, he'll like respond and be like, "That's our warrior."
Yeah.
I'm just like, "You're so insane."
Like we can always
Get
count on
out.
him to say the most insane thing upon
Yeah.
like greeting him, and I'm like, oh, Doug, love you.
Yeah, he'd bust my chops about clam chowder and shit.
I
like
bet.
when we first
I'm
met.
sure he probably,
I'm
like-
oh, come on, man. I'm
He
trying to
cracks
eat
me
more
up.
brisket now.
Yeah, especially moving.
Transition.
Okay, so I was creeping on your Insta, obviously, and in your bio it says country blues and swanky rock.
Yeah.
So what like elements in your music do you think like describes that?
Okay, so
sound?
country blues is like, because I take a huge influence. I love like the old blues players that just did really basic. I mean, not all of them played basic, but like the open tunings, like there's just a different vibe to it. And then just what they were singing and everything, like we were just talking about, like it's like gospel basically. Like there's a vibe to it, man. Like, so that's country blues. And I come from the country and I had the blues.
Yeah.
So like I've just vibe with that, you know what I mean? And then the swanky rock is literally just because it gets a little edgy sometimes, you know, it gets a little, it's more old school music. Like I feel like y'all need to come to Riley's, by the way. I mean,
We'll be
Thursday.
here.
We'll be here.
Yes, this will air after it, but
Yeah.
just know it was a great show. Already. It hasn't happened yet, but
Just know
it's
you
gonna be
missed out.
good.
I like
But
swanky.
I love
Yeah.
that word,
That's
swanky.
it.
well, it has a little
Yeah.
like, if it's like just loose enough to like. That's why I like playing with players. Like we never had one rehearsal because
Still haven't.
yeah, but I kind of like it because it's like just let it fly, man. And but even all that, letting it fly, plays back into, because like none of these songs were meant to be written, or I guess they were, but like I don't think they were. It wasn't on my fucking like to-do list. You know what I'm saying?
They
just
came out
came.
organically. and
That's what I always
naturally.
use the word organic. Organic is my favorite word for music because, like, and back to what I was saying, you find players that match you. They have something to say too with their playing, and with like when it all comes together in that magical moment on stage. Shit, man, you don't know. We played together so many times, and there's been a couple of different times where it's come out different, this way or that way,
Yeah.
but it's magic in its own way,
But
and
my
everybody's like,
favorite
hell
music is
yeah,
like that,
dude.
too.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Allman Brothers band, probably my favorite band, their live recordings from like 1971, they never did a song the same way again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially the solo section. Like it's
Yeah.
all improvised.
To me, I'm sorry, but that kind of
love
music
that.
is kind of meant to be like that, like because and I only learned this because like I came down here to the hill country and just started booking gigs, and we would meet up with different players, and I started to realize, well, damn, I played this song over there in San Antonio, and it sounded badass in this way, but then I went over here to this other spot and played with these different players, and they turned it on its head like a whole different way. And that's when, you know, the same song can sound so many different ways depending on who's playing with you or what the venue is or what, you know, it's like, it's actually really crazy. Like, a song is malleable, super malleable, you know. You got the
That's great for the people in the audience to experience too that go to multiple of your shows. Like, yeah, you could be playing the same set list, but I'm sure there's even like a little bit different of a feeling with each song when you play that way.
like, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I think the Riley show will be badass.
We're
Why?
manifesting it. It's gonna
Why?
be great.
Because look at the vibe in here.
This
yeah,
place is awesome.
this is y'all's vibe for sure.
It's the vibe, and then I've played in here, you know, acoustic, but like the way the sound is in here, because it's a small space and there's wood everywhere. Like, oh, it's so great, dude. Like, you can hear.
Like, the sound is gonna be good.
It's so good. Like, so like the it's gonna be
We'll be playing behind the fog of cigarette smoke.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the perfect
that's
vibe.
That's gonna be new for me. You're not allowed to smoke like anywhere in Massachusetts in bars.
Here, you'll just be chain smoking.
I can smell it.
Like on your way back from
the
He used to.
When in Rome, right?
You bartended, right? Straight up.
Yeah, I bartended for years, for 10 years, and I loved it because it like gets you in front of people and you're meeting people and you're on stage kind of like you're kind of a performer as a bartender, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because sometimes you don't want to necessarily be there because you're maybe having a tough day. But you're like, I got to put my smile on and I got to, you know, be
present.
A great server right now, you know what I mean? So I think it like, you have to be mentally kind of tough to be a bartender, you know?
Yeah, I was literally talking to her about that last night. The amount of times, because I bartend here at Riley's, I'll come home and I'm just like socially drained because, like you said, if you're having a bad day, you have to put that persona on, and especially like when y'all are on stage too, you could have whatever day and you have to put that show on for people. But I mean, you have 4 days, get your TABC license, come guest bartend after the show or something.
Oh my gosh, I miss it so
Sling
much.
a drink or something.
I do. I miss bartending a lot because when you do it for that long, and I also miss being a night owl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you like being a night owl? Or
I work during the days because I'm not a night owl person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just miss like sleeping, like
yeah,
so whatever time I need to sleep to catch up on rest, and then now I can get ready for tonight's shift or whatever, because I was just on that schedule for so many years.
Yeah, true.
Man, I'd love to bartend here.
I'm like, you're making coffee. I feel like it's kind of the same.
No, that's why I chose coffee, because I was like, what can I do that's bartending during the day so I can play music at night? And that brought me to coffee.
Love that. So do you have a plan to release these 7 songs? When can we hear them?
So it was supposed to be in the middle of this month, like already one, but we're still working on mixing and mastering. So it's just a process because there's so many people involved, like, you know, so I know things are a process, you know, so I just
don't rush it.
I'm more chill than I have ever been in my entire life, even if I don't seem like it, guys. I used to be hell on wheels, man, like when I ran the barbecue business. And if you ever worked with me in the barbecue business, you can attest to that. And I know you're out there, so if you're listening, I apologize.
That's fine.
But yeah, I can't afford to be as crazy as I used to be. So like, yeah, like anyways. Everything's a process, so I'm just like chilling. Like, I always let things be. Like, that's like my motto every day. Like, appreciate where you're at and let it roll. Like, and that's also back into playing live music and stuff. Just let it roll. Like, just let it happen and see what happens. Like, there's gonna be magic to come out of it, you know. Yeah, the live music. I mean, the stuff that we recorded. I would assume that something's probably going to come out in February, since it was supposed to be January. But
are you planning like releasing a couple of singles before, or all at once?
No, I'm going to just release singles, and so we did it. We would call in.
What's the first one?
King of the Underground. Well, they're fighting me on it now, Andrew and Casey, and I'm like, no.
What do they want?
Well, it's just a mixing thing, and I told them like, well, we need to mix it. it's not done yet. So
I've heard a bit of that one too, and I like it.
That
I've
was
gotten the
awesome.
sneak
I wanna
Like
hear
peeks.
the
these
Yeah.
fiddle at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool. Working with that guy and pedal steel.
Yeah.
I love pedal steel.
Who was playing pedal steel?
Cody Cook.
Cody? Yeah.
Cody,
What a
okay.
good- Shout out to Cody. What a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure working with him because
He
I
played
tried
drum.
to play pedal steel licks on guitar,
Mm-hmm.
so it made my job easy. I didn't have to do that.
Nice.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But the I don't know. Oh, so Colin Etzo. I hope I'm saying that right. Ezzo.
Oh, Colin.
We love
You know
him.
We
Colin?
love Colin.
Okay.
Did he
He's
do
a
the
filmmaker.
videography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been working with us to film well, we didn't know what we were doing. At first, we thought we were just filming to I guess kind of fill in what these songs how they came about from my past, like me falling out and then moving here. But then we ended up getting in the studio, so then it was kind of turned into a making of the record kind of thing. So
Is he gonna make a documentary
Yeah.
out of it?
so there's
Oh yeah.
so there
I
that's
love
going to be a
this.
film that's
Yeah.
going to be released with the first single.
Cool.
Oh, I'm excited to see
So
that.
that-
He'd
That'll be
always
so
sneak
good.
up on me with the camera in the studio.
Yeah, catch you in the raw
And I'd be
moments.
like, oh fuck.
No.
Gotta be
I don't know
camera
what to
ready
say right now.
always.
Yeah, it was not at all.
And I got to shout out Andrew White too. Andrew White's
Yeah, Andrew's a great
manager. He's been with me since Lubbock. Basically, one night I got off singing at the Blue Light, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm Andrew White." And at first I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know? Keep in mind, because I worked in barbecue, and everybody was always trying to sell me something in barbecue, coming in my shop and well, you need this, and I'm like, bitch, I don't need nothing. I can't even I can barely buy the briskets, But yeah, no, Andrew White, he's so cool, good guy. He's a younger guy, but he's honestly got, he kind of as we're building this music career, he's building his career as a manager, right? And so I think he's gonna do a lot, honestly, in life, with it. But he was there at the studio the entire time, keeping everything just so in order and making sure the band was fed the entire
Making
time.
sure
Beer
Yeah.
runs.
Enough beer.
Yeah.
Lone
The
Star.
important parts:
Yeah.
beer runs and food.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
sounds like-
down.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all got a good group of people, and I think that's really going to resonate when the songs come out. People will be able to feel that. So in addition, I know because we're releasing this after the Riley show, which is the 23rd of January.
Okay.
What shows do you have upcoming after that people can expect to come see you at?
January 24th at Adair Saloon, and that's in Dallas. So that's a pretty historical joint too. It's been open since '63. A lot of big names have been born out of there. 1100 Springs, Jack Ingram. A lot of good players, a lot of good songwriters and players have been up in that place. It's in Deep Ellum, Dallas. So I'm excited. I've actually never been in there.
Deep
I just
Ellum
know about
Blues.
it.
That's a Grateful Dead song.
Deep Ellum is the heart of a lot of old blues, and
Mhm.
Charlie Crockett spent a lot of
Charlie
time down
Crockett. Oh, I
there.
love Charlie Crockett.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Deep Ellum for whatever reason, but I've never been to Adair's, so I'm excited about that one coming up.
That'd
And
be
then we got more Shady Acre Saloon coming up. We're booking it up for this year, so it's but I don't know. We're trying to play. We've done all of this for the last couple of years with no music released.
Don't we have something
Yeah,
in
it's really
Dallas
awesome.
March 6th too?
Yeah, Adair's again. We got multiple dates booked at Adair's.
Mhm.
So I'm excited just to play these sort of, to me, what I even before I started playing gigging or gigging with a band, especially I knew these places because I'm a music fan, right? And so to be able to get to go play these places now, I'm like, man, that's crazy actually. But it feels right, because I know the lineage of how it all panned out. So I'm like, yeah, it's meant to be, I guess. It makes sense. But sometimes I step back and I'm like, but that's actually kind of crazy. I'm like, sometimes I feel like I hit my head and I went into a whole different alternate universe. But I'm like, no, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you did.
Honestly, who knows?
Yeah.
Never know, man.
Well, where can people follow both of y'all so we can I'm like we, but for everybody to attend y'all shows and just kind of keep up to date on y'all sing releases and all that stuff.
Andrew Bradley Hill is on. That's my Instagram name, and then a.b.hill on Facebook. If you don't type in the dots, it won't pop up.
And I'm Gus Percy 71 on Instagram, all one word. I gotta be better at social media. I'm pretty bad at it, admittedly.
That's okay. Maybe now you can step it up.
I just feel like social media is it's such a double-edged sword because I always feel so vain on it, you know. But like as a musician, you kind of have to use it.
If
and
you're running a
promote yourself.
business, I learned this in barbecue, which is part of the reason I even thought I could do music, because I was like, well, I already post every single day for barbecue, and then honestly, I was watching people like Randall King, Flatland, Dalton Domino, all these characters I love it constantly posting too, so right with me in the same town, and I was just like, well, I don't know. As far as marketing goes, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's not a vain thing. It's a business thing. Like,
yeah,
it's a,
Yeah.
I just got to get out of my own head, I guess.
Just think of it as like networking and marketing.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense,
basically.
online.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's free. So
And
it's
it's
a
free.
But I feel like that's a common feeling
Mhm.
amongst musicians that we've talked to, is that it's like a necessary evil that you have to do. And also a lot of people
Exactly.
just don't even enjoy consuming social media. So you're like, damn, a big part of my like promoting myself is to
Yeah.
do it. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like,
I guess
bleh.
like I have strong feelings about social media. I think it's not as social as it is intended to be.
It's kind of a
It takes
scam.
people away
Yeah.
from being social in
Yep.
a way, because
So
if
true.
you're like cool with like scrolling on Instagram all night, then like you're not gonna be apt to go meet people in person and make actual connections. You know,
Mhm.
so
It's-
it kind of takes you away from being social.
yeah.
At least speaking from my experience, because I get like hooked on it sometimes. You know.
Oh yeah, no.
Everyone can
You're preaching to the choir.
relate
Yeah.
to that. Yeah.
I kind of think that we're in like a revolution, or like a turning of the tides period, though, and I might be wrong about this,
I hope you're right.
but
I
I feel
feel
like
it too.
I feel like
Mhm.
people are kind of getting bored with
Yeah.
doing that.
Mhm.
Like it is addictive, but I do think that maybe like people are like, well, shit, because they maybe did one time step out of their shell and go to Riley's Tavern and see something and go, wow,
But
if I just left the house.
Real
Yeah.
life is
You know?
better.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You can smoke in bars still?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Can't
I
find
think
that
you're
on
right,
Instagram.
AB. I think people are beginning to recognize the maybe negative effects it's having on mental health, and it's
Yep.
good that
Yeah.
we're talking about it.
For sure. I was just
Absolutely.
actually like, I was doom scrolling last night on TikTok, but people were saying that. And I think it's like a pendulum, because it went so far one way where it
Yeah.
was like consuming everyone's life at all points in time. And so now organically it just has to swing back, which
Right.
I love, because
And when it swings back,
Too
it's
much
swing back
hours.
hard, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And it takes you away from like the things you really do love, you know, like practicing guitar or practicing singing or taking your dog for a walk or whatever it is you love. You know, it's really just taking like a lot of time. Like when you look at your screen time, you're like, well, what could I have been like?
It's
myself
embarrassing.
included.
yeah.
I'm not, you know,
Why is
I'm
that?
like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
I could have done a lot with that 20 hours this week. Damn.
yeah, that's what I mean.
some of
Yeah.
the best times is just to let your phone die and just.
Just throw it against a wall.
Leave it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though mine's literally on my chair next to me, just like, just in case. Okay, well, thank y'all both so much.
Thank you.
It seriously was a pleasure.
Really nice talking
Thank
with
you
you.
also for sharing your story. I want to leave the audience with, since like you had this big, let's call it like a revelation in a sense. Like what's one thing that you kind of want to leave, I guess, listeners with, of what you've learned like through that about life?
Through this whole journey, I guess.
Yeah.
That it's never over. Life is completely it's malleable, and there's rebirth that can happen, and so many different facets of your life that you won't ever know. You can never fathom like in what ways until you just live it. You got to live it 1st. You
Mhm.
got to walk that first step and second step, third step, and you'll meet a lot of people, and you'll find a lot of understanding and whatever you're going through out there, I guess, really. And it's always in different ways. Sometimes it might be honky tonk, or sometimes it might be, you know, whatever you step into, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again, like she said, for sharing your
Mhm.
story. And it's really cool to hear. I mean, because we've heard a little bit of your music, seen you live, but it's really cool to hear the backstory on it for both of y'all. So
Know the people behind the music.
Yes.
So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Alrighty, well, again, this has been the Twiniverse Music Scene Podcast with your hosts, Madison and Reed, and our guests, AB and Gus. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.